Hey guys, this is the obligatory reaction to the new Zelda trailer, and truth be told, um, I accidentally already saw part of it, the beginning, and the title of the game, so that's not a huge surprise to me because I was scrolling through my Google News this morning as I was getting ready for work, which didn't end up happening, but that has nothing to do with any of this. And as I was scrolling through Google News, it was like, oh, stuff that was announced at the Nintendo Direct. I was like, already? I thought, I swear to God, when I saw on YouTube yesterday, it said it was coming out at 2 p.m., the Nintendo Direct. So I don't know what I saw. But, anyways, the point is, I then quickly rushed down to get ready to. First, I had my tea, and now I'm awake and ready to record this. So let's watch the whole, not the whole Nintendo Direct. I will watch that at a later time. But let's watch the Zelda trailer. So here is my live reaction to that. Hopefully this is enjoyable to you for some reason. We'll find out. Let's turn this a little bit that way. Game footage not final. I mean, they're probably not ready to release the game just yet. I don't know who that figure is supposed to be. This is very similar to the beginning of Breath of the Wild, where we had like that tapestry or whatever of Link surrounded by a bunch of guardians, but in this case we've got a creepy thing on like an electronic looking levitating platform thing with seven like seven markings, like we're going to collect things. Was that Princess Zelda levitating? Here she is cupping somebody's hand. Here's actual Link looking pretty awesome like he did in the previous trailer. A dive! That's pretty exciting. Here he's using that reverse time thing, so that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's how we get up to the Sky Island things. Ooh, we landed on some kind of flying bird thing. Cool Ouroboros or Aran looking title symbol thing. Tears of the Kingdom, which admittedly I did already know. And here's my thought on the title. It's okay, but it's so like obvious that what they wanted to do is blank of the blank, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. It's like you don't need to fall into that pattern, but it's not a terrible pattern. And it seems to make sense because in the previous trailers there were those weird pools of like blue-green liquid that looked like a teardrop. So I suspect instead of the Sheikah Slate, Link has to use these tears to then somehow use his new powers, which apparently involve flying up into the sky. So, anyways, let's process everything I just saw. I'm surprised the trailer wasn't longer. I'm surprised that we didn't really get much new stuff. I mean, we got the title, so that's really cool. And the title's fine. The title, honestly, my first thought when I saw it as I was scrolling through Google News is, well, this is fake, because that sounds like fan fiction, like something you'd come up with in fan fiction. I remember before, this is going to date me, but before Twilight Princess was announced, there was all kinds of speculation the day before E3 or before some event. There was speculation about what is this new game going to be called, and I remember somebody thought it was called like the Reigns of, not Castamere, that would be Game of Thrones. The reigns like horses' reigns of Shadow or something like that. Maybe not Shadow because that's too close to what it actually was, but I don't know. It was just like, that does not sound right at all. Or the bridle, like a horse's bridle, because there was all that, we already knew all this imagery of like the wolf and like somebody, Link transforming into the wolf and somebody riding Link. So like the bridle of chaos or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, but it was so obvious to me, like, no, these are not the actual names. They're too fanfiction-y. And to me, Tears of the Kingdom also sound fanfiction-y. But I'll also admit, the first time I heard Breath of the Wild, the name Breath of the Wild, I was like, well, it does not sound like a Zelda title. Because usually the Zelda titles were always very specifically Like, the Wind Waker was the Wind Waker, the actual thing that you used. Ocarina of Time was the actual Ocarina of Time, the thing that you used in the game. Majora's Mask was the actual Majora's Mask in the game. So it was always like a specific object that you had. Spirit Tracks, not quite. Phantom Hourglass was a specific thing in the game. Link's Awakening was not quite. Link to the Past, not quite, but then again, it was really called Triforce of the Gods. So I guess I'm just used to Zelda titles being like whatever the thing is that you actually use. And in that case, this is probably exactly that. We're going back to the basics because Tears of the Kingdom seem to be exactly that thing. You're using these blue-green magic tears thing that reverse time or something like that. Or because I suspect they're coming down from that Sky Kingdom thing. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. The point is, the trailer was fine. It didn't disappoint me at all. But I kind of wanted a little more juice. I kind of wanted more. I need to see. I'm gonna buy the game regardless, of course, and it comes out May 12th or something like that. It's a long time away from now. Jeez Louise, that's more than half of a year. But they still got to get their finishing final touches. So I'm gonna buy the game, of course, but it didn't really make me like, oh, I can't wait, that kind of feeling. It was more like, yep, that's it, all right. Do you know what I mean? So it's fine. I'm gonna buy it, and it's gonna be great. But I also need something to assuage, is that how you pronounce that word? My fears about the landscape is literally just the Breath of the Wild landscape. But now we can go into the sky. But what I loved, and I've said this in a million videos before, what I loved about Breath of the Wild was that whole, look at that desert over there. I'm going to go to that desert, and I'm going to explore it. Or, oh, wow, look at that forest over here, that little patch of woods. I wonder if there's anything cool in that patch of woods. I'm going that way to explore that patch of woods. In this, it's like, there's another Sky Island, and there's another Sky Island that looks basically identical to that one, and there's another one. You know what I'm trying to say here? It's like, I liked having a variety of landscapes to go explore in. It doesn't look like there's no new lands. It's just Breath of the Wild's landscape, and they told us this. They told us right from the beginning this was going to be the case. But it's just Breath of the Wild's landscape and then the Sky Island stuff. And maybe some cavern stuff below as well, but that's not what I want. I want another Breath of the Wild. I want to see a mountain and go explore a forested mountain, or see a barren mountain and go explore. I want variety, and I want to not know where things are, but I already know where everything is in Breath of the Wild. I don't know where the sky stuff is, but the sky stuff feels, to me, the same way that I feel about randomly generated dungeons in action RPGs, which is I hate them because they're not varied. They're not well thought out. They're just randomly generated, and that's what the Sky Islands feel like to me. It's like, here's an island, go to this one. There's another one that's basically roughly the same size and shape. Go to that one. I hope I'm wrong about those and that they are varied in some kind of way, even though they all look identical from every angle. But anyway, I am excited for the game. Very curious about the logo and how the Master Sword is, corrupted at the bottom with this blue-green energy. That looks like that's telling a story, and I'm interested to find out what that story is about because the Master Sword seems destroyed. So that's fascinating. And I like this. Everybody is probably going to call it an Ouroboros, but to me it's more like the Auron, the idea of two snakes. The Ouroboros is just one snake eating its own tail. But the author of the Neverending Story, which is where this comes from, although this is the complicated version from the 1980s movie, in the original book, it's just an oval, a light snake and a dark snake biting each other's tail, not tied up into a complicated Celtic knot or whatever. But anyways, I really like this. These two snakes. I assume they're dragons, and I guess that must mean that we're going to get to see new dragons. So that's cool. I like the dragons from Breath of the Wild, but hopefully they're more than just features in the sky that you can shoot things at. Um, they were really cool in Breath of the Wild until it just felt like they may as well have just been airplanes. Like they just were going on their path and nothing deterred them from that path. I'm getting a weird call right now, but that's okay. But anyways, I'm just bowing now. So see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.